Hi everyone, if you are watching this, there is no spectator at the moment, but again, thank you for joining the Streams Working Group meeting between October and November. It should be October, but we slipped by for a couple of days. So at the moment, it's me and Calvin
Hey.
online, but Joshua and Matthias are probably joining soon. The first topic of the agenda is it's versioning, and it's the versioning of readable stream.
All right. Yeah. So I'm looking now. We have some. There was the some of the error messaging, and the some of the errors, and then the null. Oh, there's the null as an invalid chunk for writable streams. Those are the two sort of invalid things.
Yes. So we had a couple of things going in that were flagged as some very major in core. And that we didn't tag a readable stream as some very major. Okay. And in fact, this is causing some people, including I think Rodbag or somebody else, to depend on only on patch updates for very common modules like I think through. Hi, Josh.
Hey.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey. We were just talking about the versioning, and
what they do is
the versioning of readable stream, and the fact that we slipped a couple of some very major changes in.
Have those been published yet, though?
Yes. They are. Some of them are in V6 or in V5, I presume. So yes.
Oh, yeah.
So again, like so, all of this comes from the problem that we are downstream. Okay, so I don't know if it's worth keeping the current strategy, given that more or less the things are backward compatible anyway. I don't know.
So, I think I didn't do a major version bump of readable stream because some of those were somewhat debatably some very major changes because they weren't actually documented and part of the public API, which is why I probably didn't consider them necessarily that. So it might be just that we need to be more on top of versioning it like that when it's actually some very major, just going by whatever the whatever the label ends up being in Node.
Yes.
Versus
Well, all of those were, so most of the changes in the streams are flagged some very major because the fact that you make a one little mistake that seems no problem, and in fact it turns out to wreck thousands of modules because they use an underscore something somewhere. So
yeah, or like, you know, that seem to be looking for a specific error message and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So so again, all of these, it's so from my point of view, it's that at the I don't know the process of assembling like how we tag a release, we always increase the patch version, more or less. Um,
Well, I mean, what I actually do is I look if there's been a feature added, and if or not when I look at it what the changes are after I run it. So there haven't been any features added in a while, hence why it's only been a patch one. That's been my sort of way of doing it.
okay.
Because actually, if we look, what's the version currently? No, oops, that's the wrong repo.
Yeah, well, the clips have been shipped process.
2.1.5.
Puts it.
Yeah, so there has been so 2.1 would have been
That was
That would-
verse 3, maybe.
no, version 2 was when we started just doing was when I took over and started doing stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So then let me look at the versions. And we're still, I'm on Solar One.
That's one of the users. So there is a web application running.
2.1.0 was the add pass-through M variables to allow testing of native streams. So I guess that was when we added that pass-through thing. So that was actually a feature specific to readable streams we added.
Yes, no, so yes, I know. So, but things are not just for readable stream, it's also from upstream.
Yeah, I know.
So the only the way we version is completely compatible on what we add in readable stream, but it's not compatible. It's not. It might not be, or it is, but it's fairly a manual. It's fairly a manual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on the point right now, I think we should kick out a release somehow soon, flagging
your large file storage.
I don't know if you guys agree, but the reason being we might just keep the 0.10 mark, but do a release that just killed 10 and 12.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, so
0.8, 10, and 12, more or less, not just.
So remove the testing of it and get rid of the Israel dep.
Yes. Well, get rid of all the stuff that it's there just to support those, or more or less, if we need to. So that is maintain the more version we maintain, the more complicated it is, more or less to keep it working. And just getting rid of the old stuff might be easier. Okay.
So in all honesty, it's the older browsers that are a bit trickier than the older versions of Node.
Okay. Now this is it. So now you yes. So this is very interesting to know.
So like Safari 5 we work on. I mean, and older Androids and like IE9. I mean, part of it's that, you know, people use these things. So, and it's one of those like, if it's easy enough to work on those, like adding. Yeah.
Josh, Matthias, are you there?
I'm here. Matthias is not here yet.
Oh, Matthias, so you're just you. Okay, perfect.
Just me.
Yeah.
In regards to browser versions, it might be worth noting that things like IE9, IE10 together are less than 1% of the market nowadays. And there are like, at least according to Can I Use, and like a whole bunch of other like probably less tested platforms have like 20% even sometimes. So I'm not sure if that is like worth considering. If it's like, it's just 1% of browsers, do we want to support that? Or is that like an edge case?
But I mean, if we're like, I don't know how often readable streams is downloaded. It's like a lot. So even 1% of those is like thousands of people. is, I guess, part of it.
That's a good point.
And I'm trying to think of like the hacks for a lot of them are not.
So there is, sorry, just to clarify where is the tension, okay, Calvin. There are a certain number of people in the community that want to reduce the size of this package because everybody depends on it. It gets downloaded a lot of time. So you can.
To me,
So we need to reduce. And they complain that it's big and it's being downloaded every time, and they want to get rid of it, and so.
Oh, so the well, I mean.
Well, as long as things don't have a performance hit, probably yes, they won't bother, but they will bother if it's really a performance hit. We
Yeah.
never measured it, so.
But I mean, you can know that like adding, another level of closure stuff it's gonna slow things down.
Oh yeah, well, in some cases yes, but in some cases it's not adding anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but definitely regarding.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Matteo.
So yes, so like tricks and shields, very probably, okay. But so for me, I always thought that we were going to do two versions of this. So there is the stuff that goes into core that needs to rely on the internal stuff, like for example, string decoder, okay, and a one on npm, okay. So we will probably need to keep the build. But instead of fetching it, it is fetched from. So it basically Node.js, instead of loading from /lib or something, they load the same content from a vendor folder or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think, folks?
I mean, yeah.
I like the overall idea. I would like if we could specify in it. Like, what are the actual things that we I don't quite understand why it's right.
Matthias, I can't hear you. You are too far in your mic.
I'm saying I don't completely understand still why a build step is needed outside of like a shim for next tick and what's the other thing? That's a ring. But if we make an issue, maybe it's easier to put stuff in there.
Sorry, I didn't understand your point, Matthias.
Oh, he's saying that he doesn't quite understand why we might need a build step, but if you make an issue where we discuss it, that might be helpful.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's actually a good point. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree that we probably. So I think the easiest path is to just invert the dependency and keep the situation as it is right now. So it's core pulls from readable stream, okay. But apart from this, it's core pulls from readable streams, and but the code stays exactly the same, and we have this transform that generates the stuff that we publish on npm.
Oh yeah, we can. I mean, part of this will be getting. I mean, I think the tricky part will be getting the core maintainers to sign off on it and to get them to start doing that.
Oh well, we need to send them a pull request, and they might like pick it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
like again, if we can make it, it's wait a sec, sorry. if we can make it, is perfect. So so I would say the first goal should be keep things as he is with the build step.
Mhm.
And but include the current coding core,
Mhm.
which we don't in Git, right?
Yeah, we don't pull that in. We'd have to look at what would be the minimum changes to get it to work in like all versions of Node, which would probably be the Babel transforms for ES6 challenged.
Well, it's also the browser. Okay, we talked
Yeah.
about 1 second before. So
Yeah. Yeah, there. Yeah. So yeah, we can. So we just basically need to start a pull request with core about
Yeah.
that.
yeah, absolutely. Like I think so. It's well, it's a long work. Well, it's probably not super long. Like there are some minor issues, but I think it's not very big. Like we just I can lay out a little plan between us, and if it is, we can send an EPS to core and see what the maintainer think about.
Hi. So I think the next thing was with Matthias and Destroy.
Yeah.
I still need to write up that EPS. I haven't done it yet.
So okay.
Basically, the status on that.
All right. And hey, anything else?
No, I think if we can land the reversal of the import, that would be super huge in terms of maintaining it.
Yeah.
So that-
Well,
that-
it will clarify the fact that each thing is versioned independently. Okay. So at least we will know where we stand. Okay. So because
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I don't think so. There was I would call it the wall error propagation thing, but it's probably like already late, and I would really like to have miles on things also for that. So regarding the fact that we might have stream 4, I don't know if it might even make sense.
Yeah, do we want to like fold in Destroy and End and anything else into like one sort of bigger
Yes.
feature update?
Yes, I would like. Oh, that's I think the only way to do it. But yes,
All
I
right.
don't know. What do you think, folks?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think at this point in time, we need to be backwards compatible no matter what we do.
Oh yeah, this
Too
is
too late for anything else. But we could still have it just be like the final iteration.
well. It's not about like these are stuff that needs to be that were errors. Okay, like not adding those were errors on the fact that they were needed, but we haven't implemented it.
Yeah.
So probably it might also be the occasion if we can manage to do that next year at this point, given how fast we are progressing. It will be cool if we can do it. If we can do it like maybe next year or something, for probably V9 or something like this. Because if we can do that, there is a full current cycle to actually like track it down. more or less, before it's landing in an LTS cycle. I don't know. At least this is my idea, but we'll see. Okay. I think we are. I think we are done.
Right.
I don't know if. Oh, there is one more thing I would like to show to you, because it's relevant. So I worked with the team in Gulp to solve some of the problems that they were having with streams. Okay? And one of the problems was related to memory leaks and similar stuff, which when they were trying to clone streams. So like cloning a stream is a very strange thing to do. So I wrote this module. I pasting it in the chat room. It's clonable dash readable. Given that this is becoming a dependency of Gulp v4, it will probably be good if you all do a little bit of code review on it, just to be like certain that it works.
So, I mean, you're using through 2 instead of readable streams.
Which use readable streams internally.
It does use the most up-to-date version?
No, but that's not part. Well, that's a completely different story. I need destroy. Okay, so that's why I use through 2, because transform doesn't have destroy. That's the only reason. I can reach that in terms of using the latest version of readable stream. So that's another. But again, that's why we need destroy, more or less.
All right.
So yes, please, if you can check it out, maybe even just open an issue, like use readable stream. Okay, that would be nice actually, or cutting out a dependency. So use latest version of readable stream. Right, that's actually a good one. That was my laziness, more or less. Use the latest version of readable stream. I am opening an issue on this, Calvin. Okay?
Oh, I'm opening one too.
Oh, perfect. Okay, you do it. So you can credit this. Anyway, if also Josh, Matthias, you can have a look, because Gulp is downloaded a lot, and I would like to have the best possible experience for me. Another thing that if you have some Slack, it might be good if you can review. It's the new serial port things. So they are moving serial ports to actually the serial port is a stream. So if you can review that as well, will be really handy for the team.
All right, and so I will I need to do a new version of a new build of readable stream, so I will do that with some of the vendoring stuff, and I will work on some sort of improvement project with Matthias for flush and destroy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yes, keep me. I will write down the vendoring bit and the vendoring process. Okay, and at least between us, and then we decide if we all agree on this approach, and then we file up an EPS. Okay.
And I was talking about the vendoring of the depths also. Of like
yes. I say flag these as actions. So I will open up an issue with the minutes tomorrow.
Yes.
So,
All right.
Okay, so I think we can reassess next
month.
Next month, more or less. None of you are coming to Interactive, right?
I'm not.
Josh, Matthias. Hello, folks.
No.
No, they said.
No, they said no. So you are you? Will you be able to join at that point in time? We might just fire it up from there, if possible.
Hi.
Might because if I can get miles or something, we will do a partial on-site, partial remote thing. I will try to get it set up if it's feasible. If not, whatever. I can also try. It might be good to try to assemble a little bit of a talk about the vendoring process. So if you have an EPS, I will try to put up a presentation so we can present it at the team of the other collaborators.
Hi.
Make sense?
Yeah. Actually, let's say a final thing. You might want to talk to Miles about at some point organizing a stream summit or something like that, just a one-day thing where
Yes.
we can actually meet and flush out some of these things in person. It might be way easier.
Yeah. Well, this year it might seem impossible, but we can try
Yeah,
to.
I'm booked also, but like next year.
We can probably try to do it next year. Most of us seems to be in the EU, so if and I think the best approach will be like trying to do it at a conference, like we all go next to a conference, we all go. So we save a little bit of money in traveling. But again, I don't know. Calvin, how are you with traveling next year? Well, we can keep it on offline anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I will be in Europe a couple times next year, but yeah, I can always remote in. Yeah.
yeah, okay. All good then, and thank you all for coming. Thank for everybody that watched the live thingy, and or is watching it recorded. Anyway, it's on my YouTube page. We just this one and the previous one you just did that I recorded in July. So that's about it. And thank you guys for joining. Okay.
Hi.
Bye bye.
Hi.
Bye bye. Cool.
See ya.
See you.